with the map ban specs coming up. I just want to see their evolution throughout the entirety of Pro League. They need to get better, both teams. I cannot see them do worse now than they did before they made their team changes. Because you take a look at Spacestation, for instance, they were on the up and up with Chala.
Yeah, no, things were looking really good. They were
really good.
Definitely on a good position. Chala, like I'm not gonna say he was perfect, but he performed a role in a way that worked out for them.
They weren't bad at all.
Yeah, and that last match we saw from Space Station, this match gonna be on Clubhouse, by the way.
Wow.
Last match we saw from Space Station, the last play day. Let me see, who was it against? It was against TSM. Yeah, I remember now. It was on Villa.
Lost really bad.
Yeah, it was a TSM. It was on Villa. It was the first match that Gacha was starting to play. 69% for SSG. Nice.
You guys think they're going to go on a trip in their favorite rocket ship, huh?
So, the last match we saw from SSG was just so bad.
Yeah.
Like, if they're playing like that today, this isn't even going to be close.
And that's the scariest thing about this, because Luminosity, they like to catch heat. And it's a really good team, but it's going to be all about how they approach it. I wonder which team is going to work defense first. Space Station Gaming, they're not strangers to Clubhouse. We've seen them on a lot of phenomenal games here. And yeah, they do pretty well. I love Thinking 8 on this map, especially him as Bandit, but it's going to be all about the operator bans moving forward and to see what type of playstyle both teams are going to bring.
Yeah, the operator bans, of course, could be really relevant, especially on a map like Clubhouse. Which hard destructor gets banned, if no hard destructors get banned?
You don't know nowadays.
What is that going to leave open? We've been seeing Mira in play for a lot of these matches.
Yep.
You know, is that going to be the case here? The bans have been really weird for North America lately, so let's find out. For every match today, we have seen Thermite banned, so that might be a repeat here.
I don't think we've seen Bandit at all on Clubhouse as well.
Not a whole lot of Bandit. We've seen it. I think we saw it a little bit, but just not a consistent thing. They were being Kai'd mostly.
Yeah, I think they were being Kai'd. No Bandit. Just, a different mix than what I'm used to seeing.
Yeah, because if you're banning Thermite, and that means Maverick's still in play, then...
You don't want a Bandit there.
The Bandit's not as useful because the Maverick counters it.
Easily.
So, Luminosity going to be starting out the ban since they are on defense as we load into this, and Space Station on attack will ban second. Here we go.
Space Boys against Luminosity. I'm so happy that an amazing org like Luminosity actually joined the scene when they came in swinging. But Thatcher is going to be banned, so that's going to be the first one. It's Factor. It's going to go ahead and ask a question in the chat. We see where their head is right now.
So there might be no hard breacher bans this time around. On Clubhouse, that's pretty substantial. Now, since Thatcher's banned, Maverick will need to be played every single round. Yep. Space Station could ban Maverick if they want to just completely derail everything.
Do it.
But that would be pretty crazy. They're not going to. Capitao in play. Now, Capitao as a ban, I mean, he is really powerful, but he's less powerful now that the Thatcher is banned, because that means the Maverick's going to get brought all the time, and the Maverick can hard deny bandit tricking.
Yeah.
Which is what Capitao also does. So, like, one of the main functions that Capitao brings here is going to be brought in a different way. So he's not as a potent of a ban, but he's still a really crazy powerful operator no matter where you bring him all the time. So there's that.
So hard breaching is going to be
weird, different.
Okay, it's going to be fun. But Mira's going to be banned as the last operator out here. And ladies and gentlemen, round number 1 for the last game of the day, a best of 1 between the Space Boys and Luminosity. Let's see what loadouts they're going to go ahead and bring to this fight.
Yeah. I expect there to be Maverick played every round, but right off the bat, we are seeing SSG try to prove me wrong here. Let's see if they 6-pick or if they stick to the Habana Thermite. If there is no Maverick brought, then it will be quite interesting. One thing I will say is they did ban Kai'd. So having banned Kai'd, that suggests to me that they want to try and deny the bandit tricking in a different way. Because, okay, if Kai'd is banned, like on a cash defense, there's a lot of ways you can deal with bandit batteries. You could just push your Zofia in to Atom Spot, or New Blue as it's called,
easily,
and hit the Zofia lifeline from below. On basement, the bandit batteries, where are they going to go? They're going to go into Church Wall. Well, you can also deny the bandit batteries on Church Wall in other indirect ways. Like, for example, you can actually shoot them from all the way deep in blue. So if you get control of that, you can go for that. Or you could just avoid Church altogether, and then the bandit's a non-factor. So not bringing the Maverick isn't crazy here, because the Kai'd is banned.
Yeah.
And that's what Space Station are leveraging here, because they were the ones to ban Kai'd. So now they have maneuverability with hard destruction, even though the bandit is still in play.
All right, so let's see what both teams are going to go ahead and bring to the table. Here it is, 1 second left to go, and right into the action phase. So Space Station Gaming picking up big boy Canadian. It's going to be interesting to see how this team happens to mesh with each other. So far, I mean, we've seen pretty good things, pretty, rough times happening with them. But either way, it's been a pretty good storyline to tell. So Luminosity as well, trying to work their way back up the ladder. Hopefully Factor has been the right decision for this team so far.
And we'll find out, of course, as I think in this match. Again, this match is probably going to be one of the most important matches in both of these teams' whole season.
I want to see how this is really going to play out.
Yeah.
It's going to be really interesting.
The initial engagements are going to be setting a lot of tone for how this overall will transpire.
Yep.
Now, IQ looking for some information downstairs. He actually sees the pulse. You can tell it's a pulse because it's moving. Whereas anyone else who's holding something like that, holding a phone, for example, they cannot move, be stationary like this Jaeger is inside of blue.
Yeah, Claymore was placed pretty wide on the stairs, so pretty sure you're going to see it if you want to make that rotation. But Canadian has business down the blue, and this is going to be his domain at the moment. He's going to be able to watch down his line of sight, and hopefully he can go ahead and pick up a player trying to rotate or even try to peek him. But Bosco isn't going to have a challenge at all. Thank God Takai being banned earlier in the bans. Sorry, took a while to get that out. But some more droning coming in from SSG, and looking for a place to attack at the moment. But this looks pretty basic right now as they move over towards kitchen to open up that hatch.
The pulse constantly being called out by Thinking Nate, but there's not a lot that can be done to punish him right now. Now, of course, you can't use that angle on the hallway, but it is dangerous to do because it's two ways, and we've seen people actually die on that before. Bosco, Rampy, and another trying to challenge the kitchen angle here through the drop down. It looks like it's going to be just a hard kitchen drop right now. Wow, really quick into the round. We've still got a minute left, but they don't seem to care. Bosco going for the plant in Cubby, and he might actually just be able to get this with no denial being brought out. I don't think the defenders are aware of this. Factor will go down as he tries to retake the hallway, and it's just kill after kill for SSG. Doodle gets one, so no flawless round. He'll also get the Claymore as he retakes up the main stairs. He's going to find 4 more, and he's got 2 in the kitchen pointing their barrel there towards him right now. And there you go, Space Station. Poor Doodle, poor Luminosity.
Okay, where did the implosion break down in the strategy right there? Space Station Gaming, they opened up the kitchen hatch, which is expected 100% of the time whenever you're playing this site. And the fact that SSG were able to drop down and immediately get that plant and no one was there to even stop that, how does that breakdown even happen within your team?
So what happened there was Luminosity had information on the site, but they didn't have information on Cubby. You could tell by the way that they were playing. They were positioning themselves in a way where they did not know the plant was happening. It's pretty obvious. They didn't have anyone to deny it immediately. When they sprung into action immediately after the plant, they were like, whoa, what's going on? I'm guessing they had some kind of tool that was collecting information in Arsenal. They assumed it was clear, assumed it was safe, assumed they did not need to worry about it.
Right.
Probably a Maestro Evil Eye. But it didn't see the Cubby, which is where the thermite was planting. Another factor that is in play here is that SSG tried to plant with a minute on the clock. They got to plant with a minute on the clock. That is very fast.
And that's so unexpected. So maybe Luminosity wasn't even ready for that.
Yeah, I don't think they were prepared. Again, I think they had limited information, and they assumed it was full information. And then Luminosity, based on the start of the round, I mean, it was pretty much unwinnable at that point. There was also, let's not forget about SSG's great flashes and grenades to cover the rotations. We saw Buck dump both of his nades over into the hallway, going deep into Church. That denied the Church players rotating into Arsenal for enough time to get the plant down. We saw the cutoff from the main stairs as well from SSG, which denied the rotation from Moto, from the pulse that inevitably did happen. And we even saw the flashes going deep by Box to cut off the rotation from the players who were trying to come out of blue into deep Arsenal. So overall, SSG, I mean, they just had everything going every way that they wanted it to go, and Luminosity couldn't counter.
The most amazing thing to me is how players, and you being an ex-player, are able to take a look at a round, and as fast as it happens, you have this photographic memory of where everybody was at what point in time. That will forever be impressive to me. But moving into round number 2, Space Station Gaming looking to go ahead and extend their streak. Despite Thermite still being available, and Bandit being on the board, and Thinking Nate being on IQ, Maverick is going to be the one to go ahead and get the job done. By utilizing the blowtorch, the bandit batteries are not going to be useful at all. So getting in a CCTV is as easy as ever, and in less than a minute, there's a wall already opened up.
So you don't need the Maverick when attacking the basement, but the Maverick, of course, makes this much faster. I mean, you can't, again, you can bring the Zofia downstairs and deny the bandit tricking from below. But why do that when you can just bring a Maverick and
it's just that easy.
All open? Yeah, it's done deal. Now, Rampy has lost a little bit of HP in the Endeavor, in opening up that wall, but it's not the end of the world. Both of the lifelines used there, and I think that second one was actually caught by an ADS. So the Evil Eye Insight might still be alive, but I didn't quite see it. It was a little bit too dark. And yes, it was caught by an ADS, so Evil Eye persists. Factor will take down Canadian. Didn't see where that happened. It looks like it's downstairs. Doodle and Factor both very low on HP, though.
Yeah, Factor tried to come in and make a play.
They just down? Doodle just downed himself, or Factor downed him. One of them downed the other with a C4, and this is known.
What is happening?
Oh, the rush from Fultz is punished. Factor holding the angle, expecting the push, and it wins. He wins it out. I have no idea what just happened. That was so strange.
So Canadian tried to make a play up those stairs, and even though he got both of them down to less than a quarter health, Factor was able to get the kill. Now Factor throws a grenade and downs his teammate, and then just hell pursues from that point on. But still, Factor and Doodle were still able to stay alive. Spacestation Gaming, what the hell?
Yeah, Factor. I think it was Factor C4. It was either Doodles or Factors. Which one has C4? Still is the question for me. Yeah, so it was Factor
C4. Okay.
It was Factor C4.
I don't mean to nade. I apologize.
Rampy and Bosco are going to add kills to the board here, and Rexon will fight back. And there, from the top of Cash Stairs, is Hyena, who manages to get one and a second to win out the round. Luminosity win there first.
Yeah, it was a missed opportunity from Spacestation Gaming, most notably from Canadian. He had a chance to go ahead and get a 2K, but Factor got the best of him, and that kill led the way for the 3K. So great job by Luminosity. Even though Spacestation Gaming had no problem at all opening up that CCTV wall, thanks to the fact that these operators are banned, such as Kaid and also Thatcher, they were able to open up the door quite easily. And despite doing that so early, it didn't even matter because there were players getting fragged out over in blue and right above it.
It was also Fultz, too. Remember that Fultz tried to come in to secure those two kills?
Was he the one that dropped down?
Yeah, it was the Maverick. He saw two people, one down. And instead of just challenging from the top of the drop...
Why did he drop down?
I know.
Why?
Instead of just challenging, he decided to try and go all the way. I guess he must have been screaming Leroy Jenkins, and it just didn't work out for him, man.
Play stupid games, you win stupid prizes.
Pulled too much aggro, he was done, and right over for SSG. Now, Luminosity, having won that round, have to go to a different site. They're going to try the basement again, but this was, of course, where SSG managed to get that plant in the site completely uncontested. So I assume that Luminosity won't let that happen again.
Maybe.
So we'll probably have a totally different round.
Yep. This time around, Doodle's going to have traps, so it's going to be up to him to go ahead and slow down the attack with Spacestation Gaming. And maybe Luminosity, they're going to be cognizant of the type of play coming in from Kitchen from SSG. I doubt they're going to let a sneaky plan or two go ahead and happen this time around because this team, they learn on their feet. That's what makes them so good. So, coming in around number 3, let's take a look at the attacking side so far. Canadian's going to be on Zofia. I'm going to need him to redeem himself this round. Rampy on Buck, that's going to be a sight to see. And Fultz, of course, Hard Breach along with Bosco. So the 2 Hard Breach setup is pretty much basic when it comes to Clubhouse. When it comes to getting in the garage or just anywhere else, opening up all types of walls. And Habana, she's used on each and every site, really, up top and bottom. She's really useful. So he's going to have to stay alive throughout this entire engagement as well. And I wonder, do they have any roamers at all in Luminosity?
It's entirely possible.
Looks like it's going to be all downstairs.
It looks like a hard anchor here for the defense. Everybody downstairs. So that's partially thanks to a good clear from Spacestation, also partially thanks to the fact that we are on basement of Clubhouse, which is typically not roamed on.
True.
Though we have been seeing people do different things here. We've been seeing a couple castle strategies. We were talking about that earlier.
I really like that.
And then the roam on the top floor on a basement hold from a couple different teams. Just not Luminosity, not right now.
And I think that that top roam, by the way, is 2 for 2 for the last 2 times it was ran.
I have not been keeping track personally, but it does look really good.
All right, so here it is. Rampy coming in from main stairs, and he sees a goo mine thrown right at his drone. He's going to back that up and make sure that he No, he's seeing what's happening underneath the kitchen at the moment.
So Rampy has just opened up an angle, an entry point into Arsenal as well on the west side. He did it from the kitchen hallway. That's the great power of that skeleton key. Impact tricking from Doodle. He'll be punished for that, losing a lot of HP in the process, but he is successful. Nade comes out to try and punish him further, but Rampy actually takes a little bit of damage. The nade will miss, and Doodle falls deep. Now, he'll be on low HP, and the drop is also open, so that's risky business there for Doodle.
Rampy playing with pixels. And Doodle playing with his life right now. Less than a quarter health. It's going to be all up to how he can survive long enough to not only generate more goo mines, but to slow down this attack.
This is also clearly from SSG the same sort of attack strategy they had last time, though the big difference. The less site control, because you can see Luminosity are more aggressively trying to hold onto Arsenal, which means that the plant is not going down with a minute left. We're down to the last 40 seconds here as SSG weighs up their options. Thomas eats a lot of damage there. That could have been the end of the round. If Thomas goes down, it's all on Hyena whole Arsenal, and that makes things really complicated for the defense. This time, though, it'll be a full 5-on-5, and the C4 will be in to try and deny the plant. It won't be successful, but meanwhile, Bimoto Factor gets 2 with the C4. SSG will actually manage to get the plant down amazingly. Hyena will get the kill, though, from Arsenal. It's a little bit late, but at least it's there. Rampy gets the refrag, and it's all on Rexen in the 2 versus 1. He's got a lot of angles exposing him here, and with the plant being down below, he is now going to have to challenge above. This is really a strong disadvantage, and Rampy and Canadian can play off this quite easily.
The height advantage is on their side. The number advantage is on their side as well. And yep, Canadian's going to go ahead and clean up that kill. Rexen, good try. Nice try, but not good enough. But unfortunately, the odds weren't on his side. They had the numbers and also the height advantage, which made it really unlikely for him to go ahead and clutch that out.
Yeah, that was not a good situation there for Rexen, but if I'm going to be honest, I got to point a finger at a couple different people. We got to point a finger at Hyena in particular.
What did he do, kid?
He was playing by the shelf in Arsenal. And,
why was he doing?
And he let, well, okay, no, that's fine, but he let 2 people drop on him, and no, he didn't even catch a single bullet on them.
Same strat.
Yeah, we keep allowing SSG, or LG keep allowing SSG to get into cubby and plant safe, and then there's no denial coming out. What is that? They put lesion traps on there, but they still had no C4, no gas canisters, no evil eye to deny that position and that plant. So I'm just getting a little bit confused here by Luminosity, and I really hope, for their sake, that at some point they will figure out how to counter the cubby plant strategy. And I understand, when you got the kitchen open up, you got a lot of attackers in kitchen holding the angles and the rotations. It can be really hard as a defender.
It's crazy.
It's really, yeah, it's hard. But use your utility. That's what it's there for.
And you know what's also shocking to me? Take a look at the bans. Maestro and Echo are still on the board. And when you're playing a hard anchor strategy, I mean, bring all you can to not allow a strat like that to happen twice.
It's rough.
It was. And looking at the center, right before SSG dropped down the hatch, Luminosity, they were so heavy in blue and church as well. So there was a great distance between both teams once they dropped down that hatch. Yeah, you know, the trades came through, the refrags happened. It was a really close game down to the wire, but it was the 1v2 that made the difference.
Yeah, and it was the fact that the plant was down as well. That
was a deciding factor of that round.
Yeah, the post plant was... I mean, it's the fact that plant keeps getting allowed is the crazy thing for me.
Because the thing is, if you let that plant go down, it's up to the guy up top to really protect it. And killing him is the hardest part about that whole strategy.
So, in this situation, SSG have managed to win 2 attacks on Clubhouse. And normally that's like, okay, you're doing all right. It's not crazy. But because it's the 2 attacks on the bottom floor, that to me is that's a pretty heavy win there for SSG. They're already in a strong lead, not only in terms of like actually just having more points, but in the whole half, I think SSG has taken the lead. Because I do think they'll have a decent chance of winning on these other sites as well. But based on their attack strategy on the basement, I don't know if they can lose that attack strategy unless Luminosity changes something. And they just haven't been changing a whole lot so far. I mean, we're still early days, but still.
Yeah. But also like to point out, like Spacestation, they have a lot of experience on this map as well. I mean, they play this map more often than less. And Factor is going to go ahead and be getting the first kill on Fultz with a nice headshot to start off the game. Still under 2 minutes and pushing the 1-minute 30-second mark. Yeah, there's a lot of time left. But SSG, they're going to have to go ahead and advance. That's going to be Maverick that goes down. We've seen a lot of hard breachers go down early so far today.
Yeah, and when it happens, it really does debilitate the team. And it takes
That's
away.
how he died.
Honestly, it takes away a limb. Yeah, and it was his own hole that he died through. C4 comes out from Factor. It will miss. He's still managed to delay this long enough for it to be extremely important, though. 50 HP there, chipped away on the Bandit. Thinking Nate trying to cut off the rotation using this Maverick hole. They definitely won't expect 2 people to peek through the same hole. Thinking Nade's going to take down Factor. There you go. Bandit dealt with. The second nade can be saved from Rampy. And yeah, it looks like Factor didn't expect another person to peek through the same hole. SSG now control of the roam, but they have to push the site, which is Gym Master. So they're going to have to start rotating after clearing out Cash.
That was a really heavy clear from SSG to go into Cash and also CCTV to go ahead and take out Factor. But now that they did that, we see a heavy presence over here on balcony as well. So it's going to be all up to time as SSG, they're running out of it. Rampy, Canadian, Thinking Nate, Bosco. This is enough to go ahead to get this plant down and to make it happen. But with the likes of Rexon, he might go ahead and get a headshot from this peak. But Rampy's going to get one before he even thinks about getting a kill, as Rexon is going to go ahead and complete the task. So Canadian falls victim to the headshot. 10 seconds left to go. Bosco is slowly creeping on the site. But there's a lot of defenders left. Rexon picks up yet another kill. Make that turnaround. Make it 3. It's Rexon. Was that a 4K? No, 3K? Okay. Rexon puts on his big boy pants and cleans up.
Yeah, it would have been a 4K had there been more time for him to get that last kill. He was lining up for it. I understand why he thought it might have been because, yeah, right at the end, he looked like he was about to kill that last guy.
And you know what gave Rexon a lot of that freedom was the fact that Maverick died. If Fultz stayed alive, he probably could have brought that blowtorch over to that balcony by Hot Tub. And if he did that, Rexon wouldn't have had the freedom to stay put in that hallway. And by Rexon being there and Fultz dying, that really put Luminosity in the lead in this round.
There's a couple different things that happened there. The Bandit killed the Maverick over by Cash, but the Bandit also was playing by Cash, not on the wall, so he couldn't Bandit trick. So he had preset Bandit batteries. The exothermic charges could not be used in the Jacuzzi wall because the batteries were still there. Now, you saw they actually tried to challenge those batteries by peeking from the gym window, but who was there?
Rexon.
Rexon, yeah. Rexon denied that peek. He kept the Jacuzzi balcony wall intact by not allowing the batteries to be dispatched. And either that or the Thermite didn't even try to open the wall. No matter what the case is, because that wall wasn't opened up, that gave a lot of freedom of movement to Rexon, and then he managed to pick up kill after kill.
Pretty unfortunate.
Well, for SSG, it's unfortunate. For Luminosity, it's well, very fortunate. So, you know, it depends on who you're rooting for, I suppose. But in this case, Luminosity keeping themselves nice and in tow with SSG.
Yep, Fultz falling victim to his own greed is... We're taking a look at Doodle right now, spectating him and seeing where he's placing his Valk cams. I wonder what the reason for this is, and yeah, is he going to be Roman Bar right now?
Looks like it. He's got a nice camera here. This is actually going to be protected by the awning, and that's going to allow him to have more information on the attackers outside the front door. And I don't think anyone's really going to notice that.
No, not at all. With Doodle being there, that's going to be extremely dangerous because of the fact that if SSG decides to go underneath the site, he can come up with a nice little surprise with a nitro cell in hand. Hey, he could be the main cause for plant defusal. I mean, plant denial. Excuse me.
He definitely can. Lounge C4 is really easy to land on default plant. Now, main wall being opened up here by Fultz. This is very dangerous because he's doing it his own way instead of in the typical repel. But he'll get the wall open without taking any damage, so that's really important.
Yeah, pretty lucky for Fultz. He's able to get out of there and not dying early as Maverick 2 rounds in a row. But thanks to Rampy, who's utilizing skeleton keys to be able to finish the job that Fultz started. It's going to blow open away in the CCTV. So, hey, task 1, successful. No one died yet. You're able to get a line of fire in the site. So, let's go ahead and see how they're going to attack. Now, I'm guessing Garage is going to be their second task to go ahead and clear that out before they actually move in to go ahead and make that plant. And yeah, we see somebody on the top part of Garage, so he's going to be the main focus right now.
So if you get Garage control and you have the server wall open, it's really hard for the defenders to deny that plant. They're going to have to rely on C4s and gas canisters and Evil Eyes, which the defense has an abundance of.
Oh, Factor and Doodle. Waiting for their time.
This could be really big from Factor if he times it well. And he has to hit the shot as well. It's not an easy one, that's for sure. But it's not lining up for him. Unfortunate for Factor, very fortunate for SSG. They are starting their push into Garage without Factor peeking them from below or behind.
Missed opportunity for Factor, and yet the same for Doodle.
Oh,
okay.
Free Evil Eye for Rampy.
Why?
As Maestro tries to zap, that's a misplay from Hyena. On the stairs is Rexon, and he puts one on the floor and does a lot of damage to Bosco. Rexon is really landing his shots today.
And here comes Doodle on the rotation. He's going to go ahead and possibly have a chance to go ahead and clean up not 1 but 2 kills. Is Rexon. He's going to go ahead and get a headshot. Bosco answers back with a nice trade. Make that a 4v4, but be cognizant of the time now. Taking their time moving in the Clubhouse, especially Garage. Spacestation Gaming has less than 30 seconds. Thinking Ace speeds up the process. Doodle, he's going to fall victim to a headshot. So Valkyrie's going to be out of play along with Rexon. That's big. That's a lot of gunfire coming out of play. So now SSG have the 1-man advantage. Oh,
make that a 2-man advantage.
Yeah.
It's looking even worse now for Luminosity. The C4 does get 1, so the planter disabled, but that could be picked up, and Fultz will have it in hand. Will Thomas be able to deny this? There's no cover from Canadian. Where are you, Canadian? No! Oh. Thomas gets it! No time! And Luminosity somehow win that.
How did that happen? Canadian, what are you doing? That was your round to win. You know what? Spacestation Gaming, they did everything right getting in there, thanks to some mishaps from Luminosity when it came to the flank from Factor and Doodle. But SSG, they had that win. They had that win. And it was just such a bad mishap. To allow a player to wrap around and kill your diffuser as time is running out, unacceptable. Unacceptable. And the rounds like that is what holds Spacestation Gaming back, those small mistakes. Is that a team that draws because they absolutely love it? Maybe they do. It's not like they suck. It's not the big picture is fine. It's just, the details within it. If they're able to go ahead and draw the right picture, I mean, Spacestation Gaming could be a masterpiece. But it's those small mistakes that hold him back.
I got to imagine Canadian, he must have been doing something else. We didn't, in all the chaos, it must have gotten lost, but I think he was trying to clear up cache stairs. Maybe there was just a ridiculous abundance of barbed wire on cache stairs, and it slowed him down. We don't know.
Eating poutine, drinking maple syrup, just letting your teammate die to put it down the plant.
But he wasn't there when he needed to be there, unfortunate as that is. That's what we do know. So unfortunate for SSG at least. I'm sure Thomas and Luminosity are super happy about that.
Yeah. But you know what? I really liked what Factor and Doodle had in plan. If Factor was able to go ahead and land some shots before SSG ran into sight, I mean, that would have been a big win. I really like that attempt of an opportunity coming in from him.
It could have been, but I'm honestly surprised that SSG didn't punish Factor for that. He was really exposed for a long time.
He was. There was actually a player on flank watch while that whole interaction was going down, but he just he kept looking for a flank, but he was unable to see Factor. So, Rampy already in bar is going to work his way down. I wonder, what's the chance that SSG makes the same type of push?
Wait for, okay, I want to see what Rampy does with the skeleton key. He's droning it right now. Yeah. If Rampy opens up the wall at the bottom of main stairs leading into Arsenal from kitchen hallway, the wall he's eyeing up right now, the wall he's going to open up right now, it's going to be the same strategy.
It's deja vu. Deja vu it is. It's Rampy. He's going to go ahead and do his part of the plan. Now it's going to be up to the rest of his teammates. You see, folks? He's going to drone out, and eventually they're going to work their way in the kitchen. Go ahead and make some reconstruction happen. Working down the soft floor and also the hatches. And speaking of hatches, stock room, that's going to be opened up as well.
Now, there might be some slight differences in the strategy. Who knows? Maybe they'll come in from Moto. Maybe they'll come in from Blue a little bit harder than they have been in the past. But
that'll be a nice curveball.
Yeah, for the most part, though, it's looking a lot like the Arsenal take that we've seen multiple times already. Mute trying to hold on to the Arsenal, trying to hold on to the kitchen drop down. It's dangerous. It's hard to do, but you can make it happen. C4 goes out and misses.
All right. Bonus Pellet's going to be successful, of course. The impact tricking, was that going to be in effect?
No, not even going to try. One thing that you were right about, we've got an Echo and a Maestro that are both neither of them banned.
Yeah, I didn't even notice that.
You called it last time we were here. You were like, you need to bring both because you can bring both, and they brought both.
Good.
And the Twitch is actually going to do a good job here taking out one of the Evil Eyes. That's really nice.
And no IQ is going to be on board. So Yokai really doesn't have a counter at all, especially with Thatcher being banned.
Well, the Twitch drones can look for the Yokais a lot safer than players, but it's not as hard of a counter as it was with the Evil Eyes. Thomas is like, oh, wait a minute.
That's not my friend.
Oh, and he loses the Yokai, but a push up the main stairs will take down Thinking Nade. What a well-timed push there from Luminosity. And they've regained control of this position, but that actually might come back to haunt them as the buck opens up from above. It's all going to depend on Rexon's gunplay, and this time, it won't win out.
Oh, such a nice change of strategy. But yeah, the slaying is starting to continue up. SSG, pretty upset with the way the last round happened, but they're answering back now. But Luminosity, Native Factor has something to say. Tomas working out this tunnel of faults, getting a kill on Factor. The nade is going to push Thomas away as Diffuser is currently being planted. So now, it's going to be all about execution. Can Thomas clutch it up in a 1v2 and switching his weapon? He's going to get caught up, and Rampy is going to get the best of him. SSG, they're going to tie things up as we enter halftime.
So, a 3-3 in the first half, that's pretty good for SSG considering they're on attack. Now, I got to applaud Luminosity for a couple different things in that round. One, they brought an Echo and a Maestro because they knew what the problem was, and they were trying so hard to counter it. Two, Luminosity went for a hard retake of the main stairs. Now, what that did was it meant that if the plant were to go down in the same place by Cubby, then the players at the bottom of main stairs would have been able to deny it.
Yeah.
The unfortunate thing that happened to Luminosity is, well, Space Station opened above main stairs, and then those players at the top of main stairs or in the bottom of main stairs, they really couldn't do a whole lot because they were trying to challenge the people who were trying to kill them from above.
You're right. That was actually a great counter by Luminosity. I really didn't think of the next step if they didn't die on main stairs. So let's say if SSG went down for the plan again and left one player up top.
Remember when the wall got opened up by the buck?
Yeah.
That meant that since they had control of main stairs, they could have easily
done it.
Yeah, they could have easily denied Cubby.
They had a few options, so they could have gone through their rotation. They could have challenged the 2v1 in kitchen to be able to get the height advantage on the drop. And
True.
Hey, it all depended on the situation and how successful SSG was after they dropped down hatch.
Yeah.
Go ahead and make the plan.
But it was actually the case, though, that Rexon lost his fight on the stairs, and that's where it all fell apart.
His reaction time was so slow when it came to that. He froze up and he got killed. Which is pretty unfortunate, but that was a great push by Luminosity in the first place.
Which is strange because Rexon honestly has been landing his shots so consistently through this match. I mean, I think he's one of the top performers for his team.
I agree.
Can we take a look? I want to see exactly where Rexon finds himself right now on that scoreboard, if it's possible. Yeah, there you go. So he's doing a pretty good job for his team. Factor as well, a large factor for his team. Now, on the side of Space Station, you see a lot more of an even split. Don't know if you noticed that, but like a lot more of overall team contribution.
That's been Space Station Gaming's thing as of late. Before, it used to be the Rampy show. Folks comes in the picture, Thinking Nade, he starts to get loose a little bit more, and everyone's starting to get more comfortable. They're starting to share the kills around him. And generally, that's pretty much a good thing. That means everyone's stepping up to the plate. But now, it's going to be all up to how they defend this site. So, Luminosity coming in with Maverick and Habana as the two hard breachers. Let's see if they're going to go ahead and get the best of SSG, but it all starts with this clear. Hyena drops the diffuser and gets bodied upside down. Such a great opening by Foltz.
What an angle there to play. What an angle. And he doesn't get the drop down with his impacts, but he does get the Habana for his troubles. And that is just... that's as good as it gets. The roam here from SSG is honestly intimidating Luminosity, and it is pummeling them as well. Everything working out here for SSG, and Rampy is going to get another one there. It just feels like it's already over.
One by one. Rampy able to get the last kill. Beautiful headshot. And still, take a look at how much time is actually left. Been engaging in a gunfight. Thomas is going to go ahead and get the best of that, but thanks to a rotation, he's going to go ahead and get away. But coming in the garage, Rampy is yet able to body yet another character. Rexon falls, and SSG, they're going to have a flawless round. Not one player dropping at all. And a really early team wipe as well.
Yeah. I got to say, Canadian making up for that lack of coverage in one of those attack rounds, the one on Cash, just 2 rounds ago, because he had a really stellar performance in that round there. His roam by the main bar was unwavering. It was really well put together from him as an individual, too. He also applied pressure to stock. You saw that impact that forced the Zofia to come out of stock and rethink where he wanted to take.
Yeah, she backed up out of there.
Mm-hmm.
That was actually really good from him.
Yeah, so good job to Canadian. And he made great use of the Vigil, too, because he was playing in an open, kind of an open area. You can't really pin down the Vigil since he's using his ability there.
All right, so going to CCTV and cash. Let's see. Luminosity can go ahead and be successful this time around. Pretty unfortunate loss they had last round. Flawless victory.
Yeah, that roam on the basement was really well put together.
The roam won them that round easily. So many important players died early.
Again, take a look at how SSG, their scoreboard is a lot more spread out, whereas on the side of Luminosity, you've got a couple people who just haven't been showing up just yet.
Yep, Doodle's sitting there with a French fry right now, so hopefully my man can go ahead and put in some work, and this is still a relatively close game.
You call it a French fry?
French fry.
We always used to, when I was playing, we always used to call it breadsticks.
I usually call it breadsticks too.
Yeah.
Depends on the day.
Yeah, I suppose. So, SSG going to cash this time. Wonder how they're going to try and set this one up. Are they going to do anything crazy like they did in the last round with that roam strategy on the basement, or is it just going to be more of a, your typical cash hold?
Yeah, sure.
I mean, they've got a lot of options, right? But right now it's
rotating like late in the prep phase.
Right now it's looking like just your standard cash hold, though.
Yeah, 2 down low, 3 up top. It's going to be all about how they hold that down. So I'm going to be curious to see if they're going to have any type of run outs at all with the players down low. One of them, are they Valkyrie? I'm not sure.
There's the Valkyrie, probably a C4 down below, yeah. Whether it's Valkyrie or like Bandit. Yeah, no, it's Valkyrie downstairs with C4. So he can deny the default plant. And the Bandit's even playing on cash stairs, so he can come and later deny the default plant. I wonder why the wall got opened up there by the defenders. It might just be to try and make the angle easier to challenge. Because you know when you Maverick hole, and it has those double layer.
Yes.
And it's kind of hard to see through.
Yes.
If you open it up in advance, then it's easier to shoot the Maverick because you have more angles. It's the same principle as like shooting the sides of a mirror window. You know when you put the mirror window, you go on the other side, you shoot the side so you can see more?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, that's probably why the defenders open that up, and it's making the Maverick's job harder.
That little bit of detail makes the biggest difference. There goes a little Valk cam.
They'll get the thermite off, so this time they're not even going to try to Maverick trick it. Luminosity not going for that. SSG were Maverick tricking, Luminosity no. So small differences here. It's going to be a clear into stock, and actually Rampy and Fultz might not be aware of this just yet.
Yeah, but Tomas, he's going to go ahead and kick a nade. Not sure what it was for just yet. Able to see through his eyes at the moment, but Rampy is going to have company. And running in here, I thought he was going to make a little run out.
He might be trying to C4 from the drop down.
Oh.
If he knows there's people, no, okay. I was thinking if he knew there were people in stock, he could C4 them from below.
All right, so with a long rotation, let's see if Rampy on the flank can make a big difference. But Luminosity still coming down to a minute. With Jackal in play, let's see if Factor's going to be able to go ahead and ping somebody. And
I think that was an impact from Fultz to allow Rampy to get the angle into stock. This coordination from SSG is ridiculous. Fultz was in lounge when he got that impact down. This is crazy. Luminosity, meanwhile, they haven't done anything yet.
No.
Not really.
Not much has been done, but a lot of rotation and movement. A lot of moving pieces coming in from SSG.
Yeah. They don't have control of garage.
Factor heard that.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was dangerous for Rampy.
So Rampy is going to go ahead and rotate right back around.
But he wasted like 5 seconds, though.
Take a look at how many roamers can come from behind on a retake. Oh, Fultz jumps out at such a bad time, but Canadian's able to get a 2K. There it is. Before he gets shut down by Factor, it's now going to be a 2v3 for Luminosity. Can they overcome the odds? The time is currently running out, and yet Hyena is going to lose almost all of his health as Bosco is currently down. So make that a 1v3 for Fultz. Unable to stop the plan. Let's see if the gunplay can come in handy. Nope, doesn't. He falls. He loses.
All right, so Luminosity bring us back to a tie game, 4-4. I gotta say, that was some of the worst timing I've ever seen from a team on the side of SSG.
Yeah.
Everything was just as bad as it gets.
If Fultz jumped out literally 3 seconds earlier, he could have had a big play.
Yeah, and then the Jackal just walked in through workshop. Nobody challenging the angle. I mean, there was a lot of other factors there, of course, like the garage clear, which we didn't get to see. But what I do know is that everything for Spacestation fell flat on its face due to poor timing. Not necessarily something you can blame SSG for, but definitely something that they were punished for in that round.
And it hit them even harder for the fact that they were playing great roam presence. There were two people on, like, a really good distance away from the site. So if you're not successful when it comes to your flank or your pushes, I mean, that's just a big blow to your team. Timing is everything. And even with Valk available, they weren't able to have the intel to let them know when to make the play at the right time. With Luminosity, they're going to go ahead and tie things up, and Factor already in the double digits. 11 kills, 7 deaths. My man is on fire right now. But it's going to be a CCTV and cash hold. So both teams looking pretty strong right now. But SSG, with a chance to go ahead and take the lead last round. Let's see if they can have the advantage this time around.
Honestly, I think we should be on match point right now.
I agree.
SSG has had
too many opportunities to go ahead and just win. Like
and then they haven't.
Yeah.
And that last round especially. And then there was the round where it was the 2v1 and the plant was going down by a server.
I forgot all about that.
Yeah.
Forgot all about it.
So yeah, SSG have had a couple rounds already where I feel like it was just...
Those 2 rounds alone, they should be on match point.
Yeah, match point. So it's curious that we haven't... but, it's not over yet. 4-4, not the end of the world. That's not a bad result, especially considering SSG are on defense.
It's not fun if they don't tie it. So...
Yeah, that's the SSG... goal, right? Gotta get those draws, man.
As long as they don't lose. All right, so Doodle once again making magic happen with the blowtorch, and it's pretty much standard right now. So as time goes through, it's going to be interesting to see if SSG, they're going to try to go ahead and defend that. They're going to place the Evil Eye down low to zap him. They're going to shoot him. Who knows? But Doodle's going to be able to get away with all of his health intact. So he's going to go ahead and finish the job, open up a site, go into CCTV, and that's where the real strategy kicks in for Luminosity.
You could see Thinking Nate was trying to challenge the Maverick holes, and you could see actually more than just him. Like a lot of people on defense were trying to challenge it, but they actually ended up coming out on the wrong end of that. And Thinking Nate lost a lot of HP when you compare it to how much Rexen lost. So that's a little slight favor towards Luminosity.
Yeah, Spacestation Gaming, they're in such a difficult situation, especially with Kaid currently being banned. So that means Thinking Nate, he's going to be right in the thick of the action with the battery. So, the fact that he's able to even get alive when he has presence of Maverick and right on the other side of the wall from him, that says a lot on his own.
Thomas looks like he wants to go into stock, and you can see now that his teammate has cleared it out. So he'll come down here and he'll use his shotgun to open up from below. That's going to make the cache anchors feel unsafe in their own site. Now there has been in the past a pretty good clear from, or a pretty good counter to stock from SSG.
Oh,
no. Ooh, that's a big miss from Rexen. But yeah, the clear is going to be something that Luminosity has to worry about by stock.
Yep. Luminosity, they weren't really good when it came to the clear last round, by the way, leaving 2 roamers just free to do whatever they want, but their main priority is to get garage clear and also get into CCTV.
Yeah.
SSG, they played back a little bit, throwing a little bit of good strats at them, but it hasn't been successful in recent rounds. So this is it, under a minute now. This is go time.
That might be a vaultable hole, but if it isn't, the Maverick can repair it and make it vaultable later. Knowing that there is one on the rafters, and that's a really important player to kill. Canadian, though, going to take down Thomas in sight. I think Thomas just attempts to push in. Bad timing there. Or either that or Canadian, or either that or Canadian just got aggressive. Yeah. Maestro's position known. Doodle goes for the challenge. He knows there might be one in lounge as well. On the Evil Eye is the Maestro, and he's exposed because of that. Doodle gets a free kill because Bosco stays on cam for too long. Evil Eye still calling out positions of the attackers, and Fultz is going to take down Factor as he attempts to push in. Doodle gets his second. Oh, nearly a third, and he does as he re-angles himself, but he can't find enough to win the round and ran through the C4 to end it. Luminosity, a nice attempt, but just not enough time left.
And one of the main factors, besides the fact that the Nitro Cell killed 2 people, of course, was the presence that Fultz had underneath. Fultz had no answer, and he was able to get a headshot and put in a lot of damage towards Luminosity attacking them. And that's been Luminosity's downfall so far. I mean, still, roamers are still having such a great presence against them. Yeah, they're getting in the sight, but what does that mean when you're surrounded from underneath and all around you? You're going to have to clear out those roamers, and Fultz is all alone. So he shouldn't have that much of a presence against you. Get him out of there. Get him out the game.
That was also really good gunplay from Doodle. He did allow one of his teammates to get down because he didn't pull the trigger fast enough. Yeah. But overall, props to him for that. However, it wasn't enough because it was so late in the round.
It was way too last second.
Yeah, I imagine if Luminosity didn't have to rush, we might have seen a totally different result there.
I agree.
It might have been a win for them, but now it's Space Station on the precipice of match point. They need but one more round. And they're going to be going to the basement to try and make that happen. This is the site that they are very comfortable on. They did manage to win this the first round.
So, still, the Roma-heavy Space Station gaming. We're going to have Mozzie and also Legion on track. Canadian, he's going to bring out Visual. I was thinking of the name of the gun, the CZ7, C7?
C75? The sidearm?
Yeah, I wonder if he's going to be donning that. But
I think most people bring the SMG-12 these days.
Oh, that gun has been so good recently.
Can we see Vigil's kit, Marsu? Yeah, the SMG-12 is really good now, but Canadian's going to bring the C75. So it's a good choice from him, I guess. You know, they're both really viable. It's just like how much recoil are you willing to like deal with, basically.
What works for you? But I wonder if the roam presence is going to be heavy again, especially on this site. Because Luminosity, like I said before, that's been their biggest downfall. Yeah, they're able to get in sight, but it means nothing. It hurt. Everyone's coming around and blowing you up with a nitro cell.
Well, that roam presence is definitely happening here. You can see the castle barricades by the middle floor. You can see the roamers on the top floor.
I like this.
And this is, yeah, we've been seeing this all over North America lately. It is clearly a new meta on Clubhouse for NA, and they're really leaning into it. What we've heard from it is, you know, just because how long it takes for you to clear out Clubhouse, this is what Nix was saying. Because how long it takes for you to clear out Clubhouse on the roamers, if you can put up a decent, you know, somewhat of a stall, even just a few seconds, like it can really pay off in the long run.
Because the full anchor is pretty lackluster and stale, and you're just basically sitting ducks waiting for the attacking team to just come to you in the final 30 seconds.
Yeah, if you hand away those top two floors, it could be really risky. And if you put up the castle barricades, you roam on the top floor, then there's so much for the attackers to clear. It takes a long time.
I've always had a saying that there's a huge difference between playing to win and playing not to lose. And when you're applying so much pressure and you're setting the tone for the round, I mean, SSG, they're doing exactly that. They're playing to win right now.
Yeah, it's absolutely right. And whereas sometimes when you're playing on site, maybe that's just playing not to lose, playing it as safe as you can when it's on the basement of Clubhouse. But Rexon gets the leadoff kill onto Rampy, so the roam not working out as well as SSG would have hoped.
But still, there's a minute off the clock.
Yeah.
Canadian is still alive over here in bar.
Yeah, he could delay for even further.
And an escape hatch is where he's going to go down to go into sight. So now there's going to be a 4-man hold down on the first floor. And time is so the essence. Yes, Rampy died, but
they spent a minute for a man.
Yeah, one guy. So utility is going to be in play for Factors. He has 2 smoke grenades left to go ahead and try to make a push into sight because time is going to be vital. It's going to be all about the attack. So with all players left alive and Rexon currently taking damage from a Gumai, he's going to work his way down blue. Oh, look at that stack to the right of him.
Yeah, it's going to be a rough one to push in there if they want to take control of blue. The real trouble here for Luminosity is what are they going to try and push? Because of how much time they spent clearing out the roamers, they have still a lot of work to do on opening up the site using their utility.
So this is it. Just about 30 seconds left to go, and, you know, crouch walking. It's going to be Rexon and Factor. So okay, it's going to be a bit of a buddy system, but with the Gumai currently being shot out, maybe it's an audio cue, or maybe Bosco saw the icon disappear. They should know exactly where they're coming from and stepping into immediately. It's going to be Luminosity. They're going to get slowed down. Another kill comes through for Space Station Gaming. Yet, make it yet another. Refrags are currently coming in with only 5 seconds left to go. SSG, they need this win. The plant currently going down by Luminosity, and they're holding strong as Bosco gets the second kill of the round. And left all alone is going to be poor Doodle. He's not going to be able to plant the diffuser, and he's not going to be able to win the round. Now, match point. SSG, you have what it takes. Do not let this go. We've seen it come back for a draw. Do not be the second team to do this today. I beg of you.
A nice try there from Luminosity once again, but ultimately they didn't have the fragging power they needed when they were pushing into Arsenal. And because there were still players alive in Arsenal, they're, yeah, I mean, what are they supposed to do? With so little time left, they're trying to plant? No.
But you're going to have to thank Rampy still. I mean, when you put in a full team effort to go ahead and get rid of Rampy, I mean, that just defeats the big purpose of, you know, being as efficient with time as possible. And not only that, Canadian could have still drawn that out if he didn't fall down a hatch. But that extra man being down there, I mean, yeah, it made a little bit of a difference. The game ended in, what, a 3v1, a 4v1?
No, the roam was the right investment because the time pressure at the end there was just crucial.
No, it was phenomenal, but I'm saying they could have even extended the roam if Canadian wanted to go ahead and test that against Luminosity.
He probably could have killed like another 20 seconds, yeah.
But that extra gun being downstairs probably helped him as well. But either way,
they won it.
Play.
Yeah, SSG won it, so that's good for them. They put themselves on match point now. 6-4. Luminosity putting up a fight, but Space Station's definitely angled to win this.
The only fight Luminosity is playing is against time right now.
That's a very good point, because it feels like every single round that Space Station have been winning.
So forced by Luminosity.
Yeah, it's Luminosity just on the back, like way back outside when they need to be taking sight, figuring out players, and Luminosity needs to speed up their attacks, that's for sure.
Yeah, usually when we watch Clubhouse, especially going downstairs, I mean, about 30 seconds in time, all the hatches should be open. Or they're usually open, by the way. And the team is ready for the push.
Of course, to be fair, Space Station Gaming did kind of deliberately put up a delaying roaming strategy on that basement hold.
Yes.
So that was the idea behind Space Station strategies. So, to be fair to Luminosity, give just props to SSG. But, there's a big one. Luminosity have been slow on almost all of their attacks today, so we've only seen a few, but they've been very slow on their attacks, so that's, it's just a general thing that they've been struggling with.
It's night and day compared to what we've seen from Dark Zero. But Luminosity, they have the toolkit to go ahead and, better that next time, especially having Jackal on board. You would expect the roam clear to be pretty big on their end, but this is it. They can go ahead and fight for the draw right now. Question is, hey, and time will tell, can it happen? Now, 2 minutes left to go. This is go time. Doodle already working a blowtorch, and we have a line of sight in the hallway.
Yep, it's a good cutoff there from Doodle. They don't actually need to open it any more than that if they don't want to go in, but looks like they are going to Maverick trick the whole wall. So that's good efficiency there from Doodle. Wall open. Now, Factor can open it with his shotgun. That way Thomas doesn't have to rotate.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty efficient, and hey, thank God for Sledge. He's going to go ahead and make Castle's utility pretty irrelevant this time around. Excuse me, Castle's barricades pretty irrelevant this time around, thanks to a sledgehammer. But a little bit of a makeover on this wall. They're going to find their way in, and yeah, there's a mute jammer in play that's going to mess with his goggles just a little bit.
Ooh, I like the way that you've got Rexton planted to watch the run on the south balcony. Thinking he goes in for the C4, and it misses. Unfortunate for Thinking Nate. Faults, though, will take down Hyena, so at least the Thermite is dispatched. But lots of damage being taken by the SSG players.
Yeah, Thinking Nate, he went ahead and he rolled the dice on that C4. He could have died, and Doodle is definitely going to die. But yeah, Thinking Nate and the rest of SSG, they're continuing their hold. And Bosco, with a Yokai drone, not sure how many he has left, probably none. He's going to be a vital factor as well if they are still in play.
Yikes.
But Thomas, he bodies his teammate. Factor, get out of here. He's going to be a victim of his own teammate's frag grenade, leaving Luminosity in the 2v5 with only 30 seconds left to go. This is looking very unlikely that Luminosity can possibly try to make a comeback. But with a shotgun holding down the stairs, Thomas might be meeting his death, and yeah, that's going to be it. The shotgun ends his story. Thinking Nate and the rest of Spacestation Gaming are going to go ahead with the win.
Space Station Gaming put a win on the board there. Well played to them. 7-4. A hard-fought victory, to be sure, but still a pretty solid one. So congratulations to them. They definitely needed those points. That's going to put Space Station Gaming at a solid 16.
Yeah, taking a look at the kills. Yeah, Rampy, Fultz doing absolutely incredible. Fultz, he's had a long journey to make it this far. Usually playing with the likes of Merc and Art, working his way into Space Station Gaming, being a solid replacement. He struggled at first, and a lot of people question SSG's future success with him. That he's erased that doubt, period. He's become a major factor on this team.
So that is going to be Space Station Gaming putting themselves actually above Luminosity now, because Luminosity had 15 points. Now Space Station have 16, and also I guess the tiebreak after that, but it wouldn't matter because we're not in a tie. One more point.
Doesn't matter.
Yay! So Luminosity struggling this season in the second half, it seems, and Space Station similar kind of thing going on there, but a little bit better, I guess, as now they're just ahead.
Hey, at least they're not TSM or Sonics.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and they're even distancing themselves from Rogue now, because Rogue are at 9 points, Luminosity just above them at 15.
Yeah,
Rogue's got to struggle to keep up there.
I mean, so you stay in Pro League, get better, and we'll see you next time. I mean, I would hate to see another team change coming in for Luminosity and even SSG at this point. I want to see the same roster go into the next season just stronger than ever, to be completely honest.
Well, we can ask them. We'll talk to SSG and see what they have to say about that match. How's it going, Lycan?
Hey, how's it going?
It's well. Thank you for asking. So, 16 points. You guys put yourself in 4th place. That's a pretty big win over Luminosity.
Yeah, definitely was obviously expecting a little bit better result out of Monday, but to be able to come back and win today, I mean, that's really big for us too.
Congratulations and good job. Honestly, it was a 7-4. It looked like it could have been even more one-sided with a couple of those rounds, just minor mistakes. And a lot of us are wondering with the roster, of course, all these different all these changes happening. How confident are you guys feeling? How really secure are you guys feeling with how the teamwork is playing out, how the rounds are overall?
Yeah, I mean, Monday didn't show it at all. Last Wednesday, you could see we did really well, and then today as well too. And I think the scoreline was as close as it was because we had to play attack first. I mean, with Thatcher and Capital banned on Clubhouse, it puts a lot of work on attack. So I think getting three rounds at all on Clubhouse with that is huge. So I think with Canadian and everything, we're looking for the future. I mean, it's unfortunate that we probably at this point won't get Japan, but that's not what we're interested in.
Technically, I think it's still possible for you guys.
It is.
It's just It would be really hard, right? Okay, so not looking for Japan, but still putting yourselves in a good position to avoid relegations. One thing I want to ask, and I know this is kind of not exactly to do with this match, but more the last. What happened against TSM? What was going on? Because there's something that was not seen by everybody else that was happening there to cause that result.
Yeah, I think we were a little flustered. We got ahead of ourselves. I honestly think that we were overconfident. Previous scrims, right up to that match, we performed very well. I guess that's all I'm going to say. And I think we got ahead of ourselves. I also think that TSM played really well against us. And so I don't want to take anything away from them. But we did make some mistakes. Some of the rounds on defense were very close, and things didn't go our way. There was a couple smokes that got shot out of the air, which doesn't always happen, and stuff like that. So it hurt us a lot. We talked about it a lot, and all we got to do is move forward. We're looking way past the next couple months with this roster. So.
Well, it honestly looks like with this last match, it honestly looks like you guys are starting to come into your stride. That was a really well-placed win over Luminosity. But one more question. I've asked this before to other people. I want to know your take on the current Clubhouse meta in North America as a whole. Because one thing that I notice is, for example, the basement roam has become more of a thing. The castle barricades in the middle floor, the roamers on the top floor, that has been popularized in macro for pretty much everyone in NA, it seems. Is it just about the delay factor? What is making this so potent?
I don't want to toot our own horn, but we made the strat, and now everyone's running it. Okay. No, I do honestly think when we designed it, it was really throw something different. So before that, it was the G2 roam, where you had a vigil on the rafters, and then you had someone playing really aggressive on blue. And we did play that for a while, but people started beating us on it, and it wasn't working anymore. Okay. So we wanted to come up with something different, and it's, just a lot of denial.
Well, I mean, it seems to be working well, and if it was you guys who pioneered that, then I gotta say, I've been saying for a long time how ineffective roaming on Basement Clubhouse is. Even after the rework, it was something that I stuck to, that a lot of people would see it happen, where even the G2 roam, because I know which one you're talking about, sometimes it's an alibi, sometimes it's a vigil, upstairs, and they'll delay and they'll retreat. Even that roam often would be punished. So to see that roam coming out strong in the North American meta and actually working more often than not, that's really cool to see.
Thanks.
Is there anything you want to say to everybody watching and your fans at home?
Yeah, same thing as always. I really appreciate everyone who comes out here to watch the games, not just for SSG, but everyone. Thank you very much for supporting Rainbow Six. And look forward to the future, man. Yeah. I promise you we're not making a change at the split, so
I'm sure Veli will be really happy about that. Yeah, you get his seal of approval there. A double thumbs up. And honestly, I'm happy about that too. I want to see you guys like stay in the stride because it's been a lot of this, you know. It's been a lot of this, and we're all waiting for just the straight good all the time. But good job on staying away from relegations at least, and congratulations on your win.
Thank you.